So you've got a business idea, kind of bubbling away, but you don't really know where to start, right? Well, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to break down a really simple but super powerful framework to take you from just that spark of an idea to your first real confident step.
First off, why even think about this path? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, get this. Entrepreneurs report being 62% more satisfied with their jobs than regular employees. 62%. That is a huge number, and it tells you there's something more going on here than just, being your own boss.
And it's not just about being happier either. A whopping 87% of business owners say that flexibility is one of the absolute best parts of what they do. It's all about creating a life, a career that actually fits you. But, beyond all these stats, there's a real emotional heart to this whole thing.
Yeah, this quote from a founder, it just nails it. That incredible sense of purpose they're talking about, that's the fuel. That's what keeps you going. And that, right there, is where we're going to start. Realizing that any great business, it has to be built on a really strong personal foundation.
Okay, so that brings us to section 1, finding your why. Seriously, think of this as your anchor. It's that core reason, that deep motivation that's going to get you through the tough times. And trust me, there will be tough times. So let's get a little personal here.
First question you need to ask yourself is, what really truly drives you? Is it that buzz you get from creating something totally new? Or maybe it's the satisfaction of fixing a problem that just drives you crazy? Could it be financial independence, flexibility, building something that lasts? Just take a second and really be honest about it. All right, next up, let's zoom out. Think a little bigger. If your business could make one change, in your industry, in your community, maybe even in the world, what would you want that change to be? This is how you connect what you want to do with a real mission.
And for the last question in this section, let's look to the future. Imagine it's 5 years from now. You're looking back. What's the one thing you could have accomplished that would make you feel incredibly proud? See, this helps you figure out what success actually means to you. So your why, that's your compass. Now we need a map.
Okay, you've got your compass. Now it's time to map out the terrain. That's what section 2 is all about. We're going to take a good hard look at the tools you already have in your toolbox, your unique skills, and your personal strengths.
And here's the most important thing to get. You are not starting from zero. The absolute best business ideas, they always live right where your skills, your experiences, and your passions all meet up. It's that sweet spot. So let's break that down a bit.
First up, let's talk professional skills. This is the stuff you've learned on the job, right? Maybe you're a genius at coding, or you're a natural at marketing, or you're just great at managing people. These are real, hard-earned assets.
Okay, next are your personal strengths. This is just who you are. Are you an amazing communicator? Are you the most organized person you know? Do you bounce back when things get tough? Don't ever, ever underestimate these so-called soft skills. They are absolute gold.
And last but not least, your passions. What do you just love doing? What are things you geek out about? Read about just for fun? That real, genuine excitement, that is probably the most powerful fuel you can have for a business.
All right, so we've done the internal work. Now it's time to turn all that self-discovery into actual ideas. We're moving into section 3, which is all about brainstorming, connecting what you're great at with what the world actually needs.
This little table right here, it's basically an idea factory, and it's super simple. You just list a skill you have, then you think, okay, who needs this? And then, what could I offer them? So for example, let's say you're great at social media. Well, who needs that? Small business owners, for sure. They're crazy busy. And what could you offer? Boom, a social media management service.
Let's do another one. Let's say your passion is fitness. Who needs that expertise? Busy professionals who just can't make it to the gym. So what's the offer? Maybe an online workout program or an in-home training service. See how that works? It's a system. You're just methodically turning what you've got into actual business ideas.
Okay, coming up with ideas is a blast. But now we get to the really critical part. In section 4, we're going to switch gears. We're moving from creative fun to some serious analysis. It's time to actually stress test these ideas. Look, Any idea that's got a real shot has to pass these 4 checks. 1. Does it actually solve a real problem? 2. Is the market big enough? 3. How are you going to be different from everyone else? And 4. Can you actually make money doing it? Let's dig into each of those. First, let's talk problem-solving power. Your idea has to solve a genuine, painful problem for somebody. And the best way to find out if it does, don't go pitch your solution. Instead, go talk to potential customers and just listen. Ask them what their biggest headaches are. You're listening for their pain points.
Second check, market size. I mean, you could have the most amazing solution in the world, but if only 3 people have the problem, it's not a business, right? So you got to check, is this market big enough? And even better, is it growing? You can use simple tools like Google Trends, actually, to get a pretty quick idea of this.
Number 3 is the competitive landscape. Let's be real, you're probably not going to be the only one doing this. So the question is, what makes your thing different? What makes it better? You have to know who you're up against and figure out what your unique advantage is. And last, but definitely not least, is pricing power. It all comes down to this. Will people open their wallets for what you're offering? And will they pay enough so that you can actually build a real, sustainable business? This is kind of the ultimate reality check, isn't it?
So, let's say you've got a couple of ideas that made it through all those checks. Great, but how do you pick one? That brings us to our final section, where we're going to score your ideas to help you find your focus. This is where we tie it all together.
And to make this tough call a little bit easier, we're going to use a simple scorecard. For each of your best ideas, just rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 on 4 things. Market demand. How badly do people need this? Execution ease. How fast can you get this thing off the ground? Personal passion. How excited are you about it? And profit potential. What's the long-term money-making look like? The goal isn't to get a perfect 10. It's just to give you a clear, logical way to compare your options side by side.
Because at the end of the day, this isn't about finding some perfect, flawless idea from day one. That's a myth. It's really about finding a promising place to start, a solid first step. And this whole framework we just went through, it's designed to give you exactly that. So really, there's only one question left to ask yourself. Which promising idea are you going to test first?